I'm just trying to tidy up the model, clean up the bits and pieces, and organise my space. So, first up, I'm just sort of revealing all the bits and pieces just to make sure that they join up appropriately. And as you can see from all my stuffing around here with the windscreen, it's just not quite working right. So, it's really just a bit of a looking at the problem, trying to find a way to fix it and that sort of stuff. It's by no means a perfect job. So just trying to get the windscreen to sit within that space, and because it's a curved surface and I'm dealing with multiple curved surfaces, trying to get all those to sort of join up appropriately is a challenge. So I end up adding extra topology to the roof section here just to sort of try and get it a bit more of a lip or an overlap to blend it together. I then go back to the actual window itself and start dealing with that. Here is where I look at the door and realise that the door doesn't quite fit into the place that I've put it. So I adjust the sort of shape of the frame around it, and then, discover that the bounding box cube's in the way. Then I adjust the door, and here's the challenge, is trying to select all those vertices to get them in the right spot. And sometimes it's pivoting around to the right angle to hit them and that sort of stuff. So now, looking at the flow of the door into the body of the car, trying to adjust that to sort of fix it up and that sort of stuff. And eventually I just settle on moving individual vertexes around to get the shape sort of happening. And yeah, it's not the world's greatest job, but it's okay for what I need it to do. And so yeah, just tweaking a little bits and pieces here and there, just trying to sort of make sure the topology doesn't overlap too much or too often. So here I'm just trying to create a little space around the door and just sort of hurrying up through the process of just tweaking some vertex around, switching between objects to adjust the vertex of the object so they all sort of join up. Now fixing the wheel, and here's an easy one. I just duplicate it, slide it back. Looking from the back, I'll slide one out and then slide a second one next to it. And then I use the center point of the main object to use an Anomera modifier to replicate the windows to say, the wheels, not the windows, to save time. Then add in this basically cube in the thing to fake a drivetrain for the vehicle, or those underbits under the car that you never look at, never consider, but I don't want to go through and model the whole lot. You only do what's necessary, really. Otherwise you could spend years doing something. Then I get back to the window again because it's still annoying me. And I think around this point I go, yeah, okay, that's close enough. Or maybe I do a bit more, I'll pop the door out of the way and do a bit more tweaking, just trying to use the quad view this time to fix it on up, and still not quite working for me. And as I said, I could spend ages on just this piece trying to get this right and that sort of stuff, but eventually you have to cut your losses. So, is this where this is where I delete half of it, and just so that it automatically mirrors, and just try and fix up the little bits and pieces. And this is about the point where I've gone, yeah, okay, that should be good enough. And I've still got a few minutes of this video to go. Woohoo! And it's really just tidying up the mess I've made and trying to fix it again and again. I know some people have gone through this. You do it countless times, and you keep building up your skill and that sort of stuff, and you work out tricks along the way to make the topology generation easier and cleaner and of higher quality. And when I get a chance to run through this entire process again, hopefully I've learnt from doing this, and that's basically what it is. The windows I'm just going to make tinted so that I don't have to deal with whatever's inside them, because I really don't like the idea of modelling out the bucket seats, the steering wheel, the dashboard, all the controls, etc, because that's a bit beyond what I'm aiming to do here with this series of tutorial videos. But yeah, again, it's just shoveling around individual vertices and that sort of stuff. Then once I've got this tidied up, I go to look at the rest of the vehicle, and it's really just looking for any obvious mistakes. So this back corner here, where there's that little bit of not touching the door and there's a huge gap there, I'm just going to close that gap up. Flicking round to the bottom, tightening this up a bit more, noticing the bottom piece, and again just getting that and fixing that up, and then bringing that piece down, and then I bring the door back online, and it's really just a tidy up job to make sure things look at least reasonably good.